Hey everyone, welcome back to the Serpent's Den with me, Scoriox, where we talk everything Illuvium and ILV. Before we get started, as we all know, I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. And if you want to help more people learn everything about Illuvium, then please just like and subscribe down below. Just go over to the page, subscribe, click the bell. I really appreciate it, as you guys know. Okay, let's get into this video today. You guys, on my last Millionaire video, I asked you guys to get me to 200 likes and I would make a video breaking down exactly how to get to 1 million. And, well, you delivered. I was surprised. I'm definitely going to set the bar higher next time. But you guys really supported me, really helped me out. And this is my thank you. Okay, so really enjoy this video and my breakdown of how to get to $1 million. I've also made a lot of upgrades to my calculator at this time. So I would say it's a lot more realistic. That being said, the gains are a bit less, so you might be surprised with some of these figures, but overall it shows the trends exactly the same, like I said in the last time. All right, let's jump into it. Okay. I'm going to show you exactly what I've been working on. Here it is now. I've made so many upgrades. I've also cleaned up the entire thing, so it's really easy to process. I'm getting ready to be able to show some people, allow them to use it. I haven't found the best way to do that yet, but it's definitely in the back of my mind. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm looking to do it, okay? So just everyone, I know quite a few people ask here and there. I'm working on it, I promise. All right, so let's jump into it. Now, the big change I've made for my calculator this time around is that I've changed it from annually to monthly. Okay, I've got the same burials at the top, and now I can actually add more. I can do things like there's lots of sell pressure in January typically, and lots of buying pressure in December or something. I think it's actually the opposite, but I can customize it and adjust it on a month by month basis. It also means that your compounding interest is a lot more because you're compounding every month instead of every year. So overall, it's a huge improvement. So these figures are going to be really interesting. I know you're going to enjoy it. Another thing I should mention with the way I've set it up is that I've also got the revenue, so I can adjust that on the fly. So that's still annually, and then it'll split up monthly for me. So I put a lot of work into these upgrades, and I hope you guys appreciate the results it's going to give me. Everything's monthly now. You can see all the different years. The blue line's 10-year mark. This blue line's 5 years, and so on. It's all very neat and perfect, so it's easy for me to understand. Because believe me, it got way over my head very quickly. Okay, now I'm not going to go too much over what this all means, but since it's a month-by-month basis, something did change slightly. So sILV claimed is when people are claiming sILV as their rewards, and as we all know, it gets burnt out of the supply when they spend it. And this is calculating the revenue and how it will affect the revenue distribution and things like that based on how many people are staking. Now, a big change was this staking rate. So that works the same, but now that I've got it month by month, I can't include all the statistics, and maybe down the road I can. But in this case, every single time I calculate someone's staking, I do 12 months, okay? Even though it doesn't really work like that. So in my examples here and in my trends, basically everyone gets their tokens back after 12 months. And then these factors here say, look, now 50% of them are going to restake back into the pool. And now 50% circulating and 50% stake. And then the next month it does the same thing. And you'll notice that at the start, I've actually got all of the seed tokens and things built in here. I can change them really easily without a seed unlock. So every month, so especially in the first year, the seed and staking tokens unlocking is quite a large amount because most of the staking rewards have been distributed in the first year. And then it's the next half or so of them. So there are 3 million, over 1 million, about 1.5 million are in the first like 8-9 months. Then the other 1.5 million are over 2 years and a bit. So the majority of them get released, and that's why these numbers for staking tokens unlocked is so high to begin with. Okay, and I will change these breakdowns as I go, but for now, they do their job perfectly. So if I find out new information, I will update it. Don't worry. Okay, so these seed unlocks at the start, even though a lot of people, not that many people are staking, if we say half, which is not that many, so many tokens are being added to the supply in staking rewards, seed token unlocks, things like that, that it doesn't actually influence it that much. And this demonstrates that significantly better than my old calculator did, which I still have here. So we can mess around with it. And when I do give this to people, they can mess around with it too. So don't worry, it's not gone. So that brings me to what I'm doing in this video. Sorry for the super long intro, but I like to explain kind of how the calculator works so that you guys understand where I'm going with it. I've added a few more variables for individuals. And I'd love to do a live stream with this soon. And then you guys can throw me your numbers and things like that. And we can just chat about it on a stream. Just something really casual, simple. It'll be a lot of fun. Okay. So I've got these three variables here. Weekly investment, gas fees, and initial investment. Now, I can't change the gas fees one yet, and I'm considering doing that down the road. But at the moment, if you were to, this gas fee is a one-time gas fee. I'm coming under the assumption of V2 for a lot of this stuff here, but I've got it at $50 at the moment. It'd probably be less. You can kind of, if you look at this thing, you can be like, okay, this is a monthly gas fee. I should actually write that in. There we go. Monthly gas fee. Oh, I had caps lock on. Oh well. There's a monthly gas fee. So if you were considering that the gas fee is too high for you, you could just say it's $25 and that you're staking every 2 months. And it wouldn't change it too much. You get every 6 months and your figures start to change a bit. So I will update it to accommodate that. But I've got these three factors here. Your initial investment. Now this one's actually a really big one from what I found, and I'm going to show you all my charts again like last time. When I found the initial investment actually has the biggest impact here. So I'm going to tell you how much you need to invest every week to reach your goals. But just know that if you have a large sum of money at the start, it is going to help. I'm not telling anyone to sell their house or their car or anything like that. And obviously this isn't financial advice, but if you did make some gains in the bull run or something, I'd definitely consider ILV as a worthy investment, and you're going to see why. Okay, so how I've calculated overall. Now, I've got the SLP APY, and we know that isn't going to be this consistent, but I've just decreased it by 6% every month. It's 3% fortnightly, and it will fluctuate more than this, but on average, this could be relatively accurate. So just keep that in mind. 400% APY, and it decreases over time. And my investments are direct investment into the SLP pool. And it's been split up and stuff among ETH and ILV, and then added back in at the end. So I've got all of that. So this is as if you invested, had an initial investment you put into the SLP pool, which is about 400% APY at the moment. And then every week, you put more money into the SLP pool. Then when the staking reward's finished, you took that investment, swap the ETH for ILV, and put it into the ILV pool. And then you take your weekly investment and you invest it back into ILV week after week, because that's just for revenue distribution. You don't get any staking rewards, you get the rev dis on the ILV pool. One more time. Every week, wait, let me move the can. This is gonna be better. All right. Every week, you take a set amount of money, you invest it in ETH and ILV in equal parts, put it in the SLP pool. It generates rewards and you're claiming monthly. When the SLP pool rewards end in 2023, at the end of 2023, then take all that money out, buy back the ILV with that ETH share, and then put that back into the ILV pool. And then keep investing your allocated money, whether it's $50 a week or whatever, into the ILV pool every single week. And then eventually with revenue distribution, your investment, you will build up a sizable amount of tokens that will have a certain price in the future based on how well the game does, essentially. Okay, that's just what this does here. All right, haven't looked into land a lot. The main reason for that is actually that even with T1 land, you're going to have to spend an unknown amount of time, I assume 2 years plus, building that land to its maximum level so it can give you the good revenue. So I felt like as an investment in the long term, it's great, but for this example, it doesn't work quite as well, okay? Now say SLP ended and someone's just getting into it and wants to achieve all this. Land might actually be a really good investment, but that is not the case at this moment. From the information we have, I could definitely be shocked in the future. We'll see where we go. Okay. Here it is. So these first charts up here, for a balanced scenario where 40% of people are selling and half of people are staking, you can see the stats up here. This is what would happen if you did these things, okay? Now, I know the chart looks bumpy. I'm going to really quickly explain that. It's because of those token unlocks at the start. They're so heavy that it has like a wavy pattern. Because all the seed unlocks, they came out and 50% of them were staked. This is actually quite unrealistic. I think most seed investors are going to restake straight away. But it's because of those seed unlocks unlocking and then it creates a wavy pattern. It's a bit hard to explain, but I don't want this video to go for too long, even though I do want it to be in depth. So you've got this chart, right? And it shows that with a $1,000 initial investment and a $50 weekly investment, after 10 years, you'd reached about 600K worth in your token, based on the ILV price going up and everything else, all right? And again, like last video, if you guys want to look at the charts for longer, just pause it. Tomorrow's video is going to show these bottom 3 lines significantly better. So if you're looking for that sort of stuff, don't squint your eyes. I will show you. Just not yet. I need to break it up so that we can understand each part in itself. Okay. Now, if you upped your initial investment, if you upped your weekly investment, also it shows the total investment over 10 years, right? That's 53K there. If you upped your weekly investment, you go from what it was before, about 550K to about 850K. About a 50% increase, probably more closer to 40%. So you doubled your weekly investment, doubled your overall investment, and you only got 40% extra. Okay, let me show you this. If your initial investment was $2,000, so overall you only added 1K, okay? You go up to close to 900K over 10 years, okay? This is me showing you in this scenario how the initial investment plays the biggest role. But I don't think you should just invest once and forget it. I think having it balanced, because we don't know what's going to happen with the price, and if ILV will enter a bear market, which I'll show you in a second, a balanced where you have some weekly investment and an initial investment will help you more in the long term. Okay, it's good to diversify as much as you can, but maybe you only invest bi-monthly and it's not $50. Okay, all right. So in this scenario, in a really balanced scenario, let's see how much we need to be a millionaire. I did it where I had only initial investment and only weekly investment to show the difference. Okay, so you can either invest $3,500 initially and you reach $1 million in 10 years, more like 9 years in this case. Or, as you can see on this one, you can invest $200 a week every week if the gas stayed at $50. So probably a bit less than 200, but you get what I'm saying. And $200 weekly is not easy for a lot of people. I know that. So if that was your plan to DCA weekly, I still think you should. And I'm about to show you now. So now let's look at a bear market, okay? Also, please, I really do appreciate all the subs, likes, comments, everything. It really goes a long way. And all the nice comments too, I love reading them all. It's awesome. Okay, this one's a lot smoother because there are less people staking, so it smooths out much faster. In a bear market, okay, saying that 70% of people are taking their revenue and selling. We all know that I like this scenario the best. I'm sure you guys do too. But just so you know that if if Illuvium the game performs well, the token doesn't perform well, you will be rewarded for being patient. And that's my favorite part of all this. Okay, so if you had $50 weekly and $1,000 initially, $2 million. You can see it right there. It goes up like crazy. $100 weekly and $1,000 initial investment, closer to $4 million. Did you notice that big jump? It actually got close to doubling when you doubled your weekly investment. So if ILV is performing poorly, this DCA, this adding money over time strategy, works significantly better. So it's good to diversify your strategy because we don't know what ILV is going to do. We don't know what the overall market sentiment is going to be like. Some months this is going to make sense and some months it isn't. And I'm going to look into that into a future video. But for now, just kind of see the differences here. $50 a week and $2,000 initial. You've doubled your initial. You've only got another 500K or so extra, right? It's a big difference. Now you're going to love these ones. In a bear market, if you put $1,500 in initially, you'd get to a millionaire in 10 years, okay? But here's what I was trying to tell you before. $35 weekly. I know this isn't readily available for everyone, but honestly, it's not too bad, okay? $35 weekly. What is that? Now, I'm not American. I use Australian dollars, but let's just put it this way. You could get Uber Eats twice a week or invest it into ILV every week, and in 10 years, you'd be a millionaire. Uber Eats is probably a bad example. I love my Uber Eats. Let me think. I don't know. It's like, not a coffee. $35 is a lot of money. But, well, I mean, an Uber trip, like a long Uber trip. If you get the bus instead of that Uber trip every week, then you could be a millionaire in 10 years. Okay, there's a lot of things you can change in your life to be able to invest a small amount of money. I wouldn't call this small. I know a lot of people can't afford something like this. But just consider that weekly buy-ins in general can be really healthy for your portfolio, especially in ILV. All right. Now, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please eagerly await the next one. I'm super excited to do that one as well. And I'll see you guys all next time. Have a good one.